Belgrave. I am a productivity coach in Washington Township, New Jersey, which is a county in the southern part of New Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia. So shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, even though that's not my team. I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. However, I'll be remiss if I didn't at least give a shout out to them and congratulate them on slaying the dragon that is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. um, I will. I was actually a teacher for 10 years in the Atlantic City Public Schools. I'm not sure if anyone on this call is familiar with Atlantic City. It is the mini version of Las Vegas on the shore of New Jersey. Taught for 10 years, then transitioned to real estate in 2018. I originally joined a real estate team. Then I created my own team in 2021. And then in 2022, I got offered a position to be a team leader at a market center in Ocean County, New Jersey, in Long Beach Island, where the average sale price was $1.3 million. Did that for about a year and a half. That market center had about 165 agents. Then I was offered a opportunity to be the productivity coach at Washington Township, one of the largest market centers in our region, in the greater PA region. We have approximately 470 agents. In my productivity coaching community, we have 67 agents. And I've been doing that. I actually just celebrated a year this month in that role. It is my strength zone. It is my wheelhouse. I love being a productivity coach. We're actually in the process of we started the process of transitioning into more of a team model. So getting a little bit away from the program model and more of a team model. So we're super excited about that. And I'm always excited to teach Ignite. We teach the Ignite curriculum for our productivity coaching community. We're actually on lesson four. And as I understand it, well, I do understand it because I'm teaching it tonight. This is session 20, Plan Your Future. So the final session of Ignite. I'm big on interaction and communication. I know all the presenters say that, and then they leave very little room for you to communicate throughout the presentation. However, I definitely will be doing that this evening. So please be prepared to share. You can either raise your hand. Matter of fact, let's do that because there's quite a few people on this Zoom. So if you can raise your virtual hand if you would like to share, we definitely would appreciate that. And I'll get the engagement. And we're going to start off right from the jump. So my question is, out of the 19 sessions that you have participated in thus far, what's one thing that's had the most impact on you and your business as you've been taking Ignite at night? Please raise your hand if you'd like to share. I would love to get two ahas. So two people to share would be great, and then we can continue. We got 2 hours, and I'm patient.
Don't make me stick around and play the crickets for you guys.
Takesha Thompson, thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm sorry, my reaction button isn't working.
No worries at all.
But the thing that I've learned is ask more questions. And when you've asked enough questions, ask even more questions, because that's going to get you to wherever your final destination is going to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a huge misconception that the one who's talking the most is the one controlling the conversation. And we learned in Exactly What to Say, which is a series that I taught to my agents. And the book is an amazing book, Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents. If you haven't gotten that, please do. It's an amazing book. It is a masterclass on communication and best practices in communicating. And what it teaches is that the person who actually asks the most questions is the one who's in control and is steering the dance. Like a conversation is a dance. And the one who is leading the dance is the one who's asking the most questions and listening. You know, there's this saying, we have two ears and one mouth for a reason. And digging deeper, as Takesha mentioned, is you'll be able to get to the core of what it is that your clients that you're serving really need. This is a service-based business. And if you're going to serve, we definitely need to ask questions. Thank you so much, Ms. Thompson. I appreciate it. One more aha. Again, the question is, what have you learned so far in Ignite in your 19 sessions that you will definitely implement into your business or that you've already done so and you've kind of seen some of the results? I see Patricia, I'm sorry. How to use the smart plans effectively and create and modify them. Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Smart plans are a huge leverage piece. Very, very big. Very big. Okay. Technology, Command is amazing, absolutely, and other technological things that are out there. I've been using AI at a very high level, ChatGPT at a very high level in my business and also in my coaching as well. I'm just touching the surface of what that thing can really do, and I'm sure that some of you are probably in the same boat as well. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much for those who did share. We really appreciate it. We're going to get into it. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. So again, this is Ignite session number 20, Plan Your Future. This is the fourth stage of the course overview. So we started with real estate expert of choice, lead generation, lead follow-up, and transact businesses where we at. This is the stage we're at now, which is the last part, the last session, Plan Your Future. I mentioned earlier that I use Ignite for my coaching class. We actually did last night, Tuesday night, we do our launch workshops with our new agents, and we did capture leads with open houses. So that was session number 7 that we did last night, and very powerful. The new Ignite, I love the new Ignite. I know they completely revamped it. I believe last August is when the new one was distributed, and it's amazing. I heard it. There's a new Bold out as well. I'm looking very much forward to doing that this fall. Gary Keller wrote the new Bold, which is I heard really good as well. So lead generation, lead follow-up, transact. We know that everything begins with the generation of leads, prospecting. I always like to remind agents that there are multiple ways of prospecting. There is there's a perspective that when you hear the word lead generating, it just means cold calling, expireds, FISBOs, whatever the case may be. I know that is definitely something big in Keller Williams. We are definitely the ones who make the calls. However, things have changed significantly over the years. There's a lot less expires than there used to be, a lot less FISBOs than there used to be. And there's multiple ways that you can prospect. Lead generating is basically having a real estate conversation with someone, building a relationship and rapport with someone, enough so that when they think of real estate, they think of you. We then know that the next stage is then following up. They say the fortune is in the follow-up. We use things like the smart plans that help us with following up at a high level and leveraging that. And then, of course, the goal is to get the appointment, get them under contract, and close the deal. And that's the transaction portion of it. And tonight we're covering, okay, we close the deal. Okay, now what? One of the things that we're going to go over today is as a reminder of, you know, our big future, our big why. In one of the first sessions, you were asked to quantify in a dollar amount what your big life looks like. So we're going to revisit that and have a conversation about that, because it's a reminder now that we made the money, not to forget why we even got into business to make the money. Gary Keller says in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, how you think matters. How you think in the beginning really matters. Can I get someone to share what that quote means to you when you hear that? How you think matters, but not only that, how you think in the beginning really matters? Why do you think how you think in the beginning really matters? Jeanette, I see you unmuted. Would you like to share? Or was that an accident? Okay, so Jeanette will not share. Can I get this one person to share why in the beginning what you think really matters? All right, Ethan, thank you very much.
Sure. I think this one, I'm in that beginner's boat. So this is kind of my mindset that I'm trying to get behind. And I think it's particularly important in the early stages because if I start out negative or just kind of short selling myself, there's no real way to push past that. So for me, I'm trying to have the best outlook and a lot of motivation starting out.
Excellent, excellent. Being optimistic from the very beginning. And like you said, motivation, right? Not only do we need to be in tune with what our motivation is, we also, as obviously salespeople and people of service and building relationships, we need to also be in tune with what the motives of our clients are from the beginning. And as Takesha mentioned, asking those questions and even more questions helps us get down to the core of what that motivation is. And as a reminder throughout the transaction, you might have to revisit your client's motivation. Remind me again why you're selling. Remind me again why you're buying, right? When you're having those tough conversations about either home inspections or appraisals or, the difference between, $1,000 or $2,000 to get to the deal, get to the end of the closing, get to the closing table. But also self-reflecting on those days and those nights when it's tough and it's hard and you're like, why am I doing this? I got another job because I know most of us, when we get into the industry initially, we're dual career. So we're balancing or counterbalancing, excuse me, as Gary Keller likes to say, a whole lot of things or juggling a whole lot of balls. And some of those balls are bouncy balls, they're rubber balls, so they'll bounce back up if we drop them, and some of them are glass. And if we drop it, it breaks. So reminding ourselves of why I'm juggling, why I'm spending these nights, why am I spending these weekends in order to generate a business in real estate is very important for sure. Mindset. One of the things that I appreciate the most with being an agent with Keller Williams is the emphasis that they put on staying in tune with your mindset. I always say that what I love most about Keller Williams is that they take a holistic approach to helping you grow as an individual. If I can teach you how to be the best version of yourself, you are going to be also the best real estate agent, right? So continue to grow. Now, understanding what is your mindset, are you aligned with your heart, and are you ready to take action to have a successful day? Starting off the day with the right mindset is obviously really, really critical. There's a book out there, Mastering the Morning. That's a really great book on getting your day started in the right, in the right mindset and the right, physical components and whatever the case may be. One of the things that I actually just added to my, so for my launch workshops, for the new agents, I teach them Ignite. For the advanced agent workshops we do on Thursday nights, we do series of text, and we're in the One Thing series right now. And in our class last week, we talked about adding one thing to help us improve in the different elements of our lives, whether it's spiritual, financial, relationship-based, whatever the case may be. And the one thing that I wanted to add to my routine to help me improve my spiritual life is to pray more and be purposeful in my prayer. And so what I started my day with now, in addition to me doing a little, some push-ups and stretching and meditation, is now I do a daily prayer. So, and that helps me keep, again, in the right mindset, in the right frame of mind to get my day started, because we know there's so many things that are going to happen throughout the day that are going to try to take us off our path of success and try to be an influence on our mindset, because there's obviously so many negative things out there as well. So that's really, really important to definitely stay in the right mindset, and realigning yourself, with your heart is definitely critical. The Y4C2Ts are always aligned in everything that we do here at Keller Williams. Can I get a volunteer to share which one of the Y4C2Ts is your favorite?
I like the win-win idea because I feel like it's easy to try to think of maybe one side or the other, but
Mhm.
really it can be both, can be beneficial for both sides.
Absolutely, for sure. Thank you, Leah. That's one of my favorites as well. Win-win or no deal. I definitely am big on that. Whether it's when I'm transacting with another agent, whether they're in my brokerage or not in my brokerage, whether I'm, again, coaching one of my clients in my program, or even interacting with other members of the leadership team. Finding a win-win is definitely critical. Angie, you want to share?
Yep, I like integrity because I think if you start off doing the right thing and you keep doing the right thing, then you're not going to go wrong.
1,000%. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Angie. And it can be intimidating. That's why people say, oh, you go to Keller Williams or you're drinking the Kool-Aid. It can be intimidating. Yeah, oh yeah, I know what they say behind our backs and sometimes in our face. But it can be very intimidating to have a belief system that you really hone in on as an organization, as a company, to those within the company and those obviously outside of the company. However, it's very important to keep that frame of mind when we are, building and creating a successful business. Gerald, did you want to share? You got off mute. Just wanted to make sure.
Hey, how you doing, Ricardo?
I'm
Yeah,
good,
I
thank
just
you.
wanted to add in. I like win-win because I wanted to be fair on both sides and feel fair on both sides. And I like integrity because I'm an integrity type of person, and I want to try to spread that integrity, make everybody feel that the whole transaction is fair all the way around. And then the last one is creativity, because sometimes with these deals you have to be pretty creative in order to get them to the finish line. So I like creativity too.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. You definitely got to step outside the box every now and again. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. And a lot of times it could be the difference between you getting to the closing table or not. Thank you very much, Gerald.
You're welcome.
So, revisiting your value proposition. Does your value proposition truly reflect who I am? Does my value proposition truly reflect who I am, the value I bring, and the benefit my clients will experience working with me? Am I confident? That's big. That's really, really big when it comes to being a new agent. I know a lot of newer agents say, they're intimidated by lead generating or putting themselves out there because they don't feel confident in having enough information and knowledge of the business. Not only do you need to know what your value proposition is, but you also need to be confident in what it is. You have to truly internalize it. And if not, how can I make it easier to express my value proposition? Sometimes we get very wordy in our description of our value proposition or the level of service we can provide. And a lot of times it's the simple things, it's the little things that matter most. So what I want to do right now is to take a minute. If you have it, if you already created your value proposition and you know it, great. If you want to kind of revisit it, so if you already have it and know it, great, let's revisit it. But if you don't, I would like for you to either jot down a few words that exemplifies what value you would bring to the table to separate yourself, or write a 1 or 2 sentence statement, like they call it the elevator pitch, right? So let's say you're in the elevator with a multi-million-dollar potential deal or client, and they say to you, listen, I'll let you sell my $2.5 million house on the shore if you can express to me what value it would bring to the table. What would you say? I'm going to give you 2 minutes to either come up with a couple of words that best describe it, or a couple of sentences that you would say in your elevator pitch. And then I'm going to ask for 2 people to share. Again, if you already know it, then let's just revisit it and have it ready to share if you would like to. Any questions about what we're doing right now for the next 2 minutes? Awesome.
When they're ready, we'll have someone from the Palm Springs Market Center share.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Are you ready, Doug?
Yeah.
Doug will share. Go ahead,
Okay,
Doug.
let's give everyone else a few more minutes. Like we have 1 minute and 34 seconds, and then he'll be the first. You said, is that Doug?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that.
Why don't you come up closer, Doug? Yeah.
45 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Five. All right. Doug, the floor is yours. You're on mute. It's on mute right now, just the FYI. Thank you.
Okay.
Got it. Hey, well, sharing my value proposition with clients. And I'm saying doing some of the things right now that I'm not supposed to be doing. But what I do is approach people with confidence, shake their hand firmly. I never say what. I look in their eyes. I have eye contact. I have documents in order and do all I can do to prepare for the client before they come in. And I just have to sit down and I talk about what we're going to do for the day. And it kind of takes me aback because they're not really ready for me to be this ready.
But what part of you,
What part of me?
like, do you have to be value integrity?
Oh, yeah.
What do you bring to the table?
What do I bring to the table? I bring my honesty, my integrity, my communication is one of the things every time I'm in front of a group of people, my communication tends to be wary. But when I'm in front of clients, I can communicate so well. That's one of the things. That's one of the best things that I think to do is communicate so much better with clients rather than with a group of my colleagues. Clients, it just comes up so naturally, and I value that in my presentations. And I always talk with confidence. Like I know exactly what I'm talking about, even if I don't know what I'm talking about.
Very nice.
You
Thank
never
you so
feel
much.
should have, well, you just don't do that. You should come across confident and just, this is what we're gonna do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Doug. I like that you mentioned communication. That's big. A lot of times when you're calling expireds in particular, one of the things they complain about most is the lack of communication from their agent.
Yeah, I've done the DTD2 list.
Awesome.
I've been constantly since the beginning of January, every single week. Now it's getting to the point where I'm starting to get overwhelmed with broker agreements that have gone out and they've all started to get returned. So now I figure I need to put something on the board to see how many broker agreements I've put out, because I've got to contact them as well as everybody else on the list. So
Yes.
that's the thing I'm trying to figure out right now. So
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing, Doug. I appreciate your confidence in stepping up and sharing. One more to share either a few words from your value proposition or or 1 or 2 sentences of your value proposition. Gerald?
I just wanted to say this. I'm a fighter. That's what I would say. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter for you. I'm a fighter for me, and I'm a fighter for this transaction to be successful. Whether it's a KO, TKO, or if we have to go to distance, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to fight for you.
I like that. I like that a lot. Are you a fighter? Are you a fighter, or are you a former fighter?
My dad was.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a
nice.
heavyweight fighter, so I've always been into the
Wow.
sport, but the philosophy behind the sport as well.
Excellent. Excellent. I like that. And that's something that can stand out, right? I like that. I like that a lot.
Absolutely.
Connecting your brand to your value proposition is huge, especially if you have a personal connection to it. It's really, really big because people can see through the fakeness, right? We all see it. We all see it as consumers. We are, sometimes we forget as realtors that we also are consumers. You know what I mean? So put yourself in the shoes of your customers and what you would like and how something would make you feel. For sure. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate it. Now, revisiting your big life, your vision, your future, your big life. In the beginning, as I mentioned, when you first started off at Ignite, you were asked to, if I remember correctly, you were asked to identify something that you would like to purchase for yourself and for the people who you care about most. And then add up all of those things, get a dollar amount to it, and then add them all up, and then that number goes in the middle for your big life number. Does anyone know their big life number or your life by design number? Mine is $147,400 net. That's the number that I need to generate from my business in order to live my life by design. Now, knowing that number, now my goal is to create enough passive income that generates $147,400. So then I can focus on doing what I want to do with my time, buying back my time. So I buy back my time by having enough passive income to fund my life by design. Does anyone know their life by design number and would like to share? Gross or net?
I'm
Takesha?
sorry. First of all, was that 144 per month, or did you break it annually?
That's annually. I'm a simple guy. I'm a simple guy.
Okay.
Yes, 147,400.
Okay. So
Yes.
mine is actually 35,000 a month. I have to have that coming in passively. And that's
Awesome.
that's to do everything, including allowing my family to have the same experiences with me at the same time.
Excellent. Do you know how many transactions you need to close per month to generate that money?
I want to say at the price point that I was looking at, I think I needed 4 to 6.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Average sell price in my area is approximately $325,000. Um, and I remember you mentioned 35,000. I remember in 2021, my best year I had in real estate. In October, I closed 6 transactions, and I was actually capped, so I brought home over $40,000. That was an amazing month. That was an amazing month. And I used to go back and share that story to when I would speak at my city where I grew up at, and talk to the students and talk to them about, leaving teaching and getting into real estate and things like that. And I was always really proud of that. It was a lot of hard work, but it's definitely possible. So good luck, Takesha. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. One thing all high achievers have in common is they are working for a big why. The big why is about having a purpose, a mission, or a need that in turn gives you focus. Focus is actually my 2025 word of the year. My focus is my word of the year, and my phrase is to focus on what gives me the biggest return on my investment, which is time. But the big why, again, why we do what we do and what motivates us is really critical. And again, it will help us overall in terms of the longevity of our real estate business. It's big because you are after extraordinary results. And the why is it is the reason you get up every day and do what you do for the extraordinary results that you're looking to achieve. Big Y equals, or the big Y powers, the big life. It is the fuel that powers the big life. Any aha so far in what we've gone over? Just general?
I have one.
Yes.
Literally the very last statement that you made is something that I had forgotten about. The big why powers the big life. It's what do I get up and do every day so that I can empower the entire thing. And I think it's the fact that I get up and everything is mundane. It's like, why am I doing this? And I question myself on that sometimes. But just sitting here thinking, I was like, wow, Keisha, what you're trying to do is impact generations. And so just thinking about what I'm trying to do, it just refueled my passion, besides my passive for every month. But it just refueled my passion on why it is I do what I do and how I do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is going to come up in a slide, but money is good for the good that it can do, right? And most of us get into real estate because we like to help people. We want to be of service to people. And sometimes we lose sight of the fact that it's important to put ourselves first. And because we can't help ourselves, we can't help others. And providing ourselves with that fuel to continue to move forward to do so is really important. So thank you very much, Takesha, for sharing. I appreciate it. Now, having a smart money business. This is really, really important. So yes, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, making money. We did get into this to make money. And what we do with that money is very, very critical. A lot of agents, when they're new and experienced, so a lot of experienced agents I've heard have had tax issues. They gross a certain amount of money per month. However, they net very little of it because they don't operate from the best practices and the models that Keller Williams has set forth for us. One of which is in the MREA, which is the economic model and the budget model. So again, KW takes a holistic approach to helping you be the best version of yourself. And part of that is ensuring that you do the right thing with your money. The 6 core competencies of a business, you've probably seen this before, but it begins with lead generating, capturing, and converting the leads to appointments. Doing that at a high level and as effectively and efficiently as possible. Number 2 is to present to buyers and sellers and get agreements signed. So we lead generate to get appointments, we lead generate and then the appointments, the purpose of getting the appointment is obviously to get agreement signed. There is a natural barrier in place through each of these phases. And again, as you gain more experience, you'll get more effective and efficient at it. For example, when I first started in the business, I built my business on expireds. I will call over 100 expires per week. This is when there was a lot of them. back in the day, back in 2018. And I started getting appointments. But then I would go on appointments and I wouldn't be able to get the agreement signed. So I would go on appointment after appointment after appointment, like, coach, I'm talking to my coach, what am I doing wrong? He said, just give it time. The more you go on, the more you will progress in your presentation, and eventually you'll crack through that barrier. And then I started getting the listing agreement signed. So I said it to say, don't get discouraged when you hit that fundamental ceiling of achievement. It's going to happen. Just remember that in order to break through, we have to implement models and systems and best practices to do so. So figuring out what can I do differently to get to that next level. And sometimes it's not doing anything differently. It's just doing more of what you're already doing. Because we understand that it's a numbers game. Third core competency is showing buyers and marketing sellers homes. So you get the agreement signed, and then now you got to go out and show properties, and you have to go out and market a seller's property to get it sold. After you do that, then you're writing and negotiating contracts. Very important. One of the best things one of my coaches ever told me is with negotiating, whenever you have a situation that you're going back and forth for a client, he said, sometimes we'll talk ourselves out of a deal. So he said, give the information and shut up. Let them process it. Let them tell you what they want to do. Do not put your own emphasis or your own opinions and biases on it. I tell my new agents, never walk into a showing that you're showing a buyer in a home and say, ooh, this house is a mess. Because guess what? They may have walked into the house and said, I love it. But you just gave your negative perspective on it and turned them off. And then guess what? They turn around and go and say, no, I'm not interested. And then next day they'll go call the listing agent and close the deal in 3 months. You know what I mean? So be mindful that everything is not for everybody. Try to do your best to keep your comments to yourself, especially when it comes to showing things and when you are negotiating. Give them the facts. Let it sit. Let them decide. Always push the ball back into the client's court. Number 5, you're another part of what you're doing in your business is coordinating the sale to closing. We are the ringmasters in the circus of a transaction, trying to keep it all together. The title, the home inspecting, the insurance, the appraisal, the attorneys, and all of the things. That's when we really make our money, is when we're the ones that keep this thing together and keep people in communication is really important. And then you finally close on that deal and you make the money. But more importantly, the making the money is managing the money. Of these 6 core competencies of a business, which one do you feel as though you have the most opportunity for growth?
I'm pretty new, just 3 months, and I feel like I would have the most opportunity for growth with negotiating contracts.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So when you have a negotiating contract class come up in your market center, you sign up, you go, right? I know a lot of market centers offer that. Negotiating a lot of times is really big, and when it comes to, just communicating at a really high level, that's really important. But thank you, Leah, for being vulnerable and sharing. I appreciate that. Anthony, you wanted to share?
Yes, I think, hold on one second. I think I gotta go. I think lead generation, because as long as you're generating leads, you're going to get more business. I mean, everything else will work itself out. You'll get used to every other step of it. That's my opinion.
1,000%. 1,000%. And the one thing to talk about the domino effect, right? Knocking over the one domino, which knocks over all the rest of them. And lead generating is that one domino to get everything started, for sure, for sure. So the more structured, the better systems you can have in place, the better lead generating model you can continue to develop will ultimately lead to being able to do number 6, which is managing the money. So when you get the money, Where does it go? Well, number one, it goes part of it, right? So we have the entire GCI, gross commission income. Part of it goes to the other agent. More than 90% of transactions that are closed are done through co-op. If you ever get the opportunity to do a dual agency agreement, trust me when I tell you, you're gonna earn every dollar. I've done several, and you earn every. As a matter of fact, you're underpaid with how much work you do with a dual agency. Having both sides, it is not easy. But again, so number one, we got to split it, obviously. Whatever's negotiated, in the beginning of the agreement. Number two is obviously you have to pay your market center their portion. We have our royalty. We have business expenses. We have taxes, and then you have your take home. So you get paid last. Pay yourself, but pay yourself last in this situation. Now, there's a financially sound way to run money in your business, and there's a financially unsound way to run your business. I'm going to try to zoom in on this a little bit, so bear with me. See if I can get in there a little bit. Is it helping at all? Oh, no, that ain't really help. I'm going to go back. Well, I'll explain it.
I'm sorry, you can't just go into presenter mode in your presentation?
You know what? When I do present, I can do that. I like to be able to see the whole audience, all the presenter, all of the participants, and in presenter mode, it just has a little, the little strip of them. But if that would work better for you guys, I definitely won't have a problem with doing that. Hold on.
Nope, that was for you.
Oh, here we go. Now, can you see the screen? We're good. Can you only see the slideshow and not all of the people as well?
I still see people because of the way I have my
Oh,
screen.
because of the way you have yours, but you can see. Okay, all right, cool. We'll go with
I
this
still have
then.
that, but I see your entire screen
Much
share.
better like this, much better, it's big.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, we'll go with this. And then, so you guys just have to help me out. Raise your hand digitally or just go off of mute when you want to speak, and we'll continue this way. Okay, so financially sound. You got your commission, or we're going to start with unsound on the left-hand side. You get your commission, you pay to the other broker, you pay your split, and then you get your part. It goes into your personal bank account, and then it goes into your wallet. You have no business savings and you have no tax savings. That's the unsound way. The sound way is you have a business account, you have your personal account. Out of your personal account, you have your tax savings for state and federal income tax, and then self-employment tax. And then what's left over goes into your wallet. Every state is a little different in terms of how they distribute your the money from your deal. In New Jersey, we're not allowed to get paid through an LLC. There's ways around it legally. And we're actually in the process. New Jersey is in the process of allowing that. However, I always suggest, again, talk to your accountant or your financial advisor with either an LLC or S corp. But having an account with an EIN number where that money goes there first, and then writing a check to yourself. I remember the first time I did that, it felt so liberating. When I had my money go into my LLC account, and then I literally wrote a check to myself that I then deposited into my personal account. So that money stayed there in the business account. I mentioned this earlier, money is good for the good that it can do. Now, the flow of money, most people, when they run businesses, it's income, what goes in, minus expenses, and then profit is what's left. Keller Williams teaches to start with profit first. What's your goal? How much money do you want to profit? Does anyone know what the profit margin is that Keller Williams teaches us to run our businesses by? What percentage, what's the profit margin that KW teaches us out of the budgeting model of the MREA that we should run our business on. It's a percentage. All right. Well, if you don't know, the profit margin is 40%. So 40% is the goal of what your profit margin should be in your business. Expenses. How can I minimize expenses to maximize net income? You have control over your expenses. They teach you in the MREA, red light, yellow light, green light. When it comes to spending, some of us spend way too much, way too soon on the fancy business cards and the mailers and the Facebook leads and the magazines and all of these fancy things. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, remember to budget and stick to your budget in your business. It's very, very important. And remember the red light, green light method. Depending on how much cash flow you have coming in, you might have to hold off on spending as much to ensure that you are budgeting correctly and adequately. And then income. How many homes do I have to sell in order to generate the income that I need to create the profit that I want in my business? Any questions about these two models and how they're different? All right. Now, expenses related to your real estate business, you have two types of expenses. One is cost of sales, and the other one is operating expenses. The cost of sales relates to each transaction you make. The cost of making the sale. Examples, commissions paid to the market center, fees to your broker. When you close a deal, sometimes some brokerages have transaction fees per deal you close. Royalty fees, they only get paid. Remember, when you think of cost of sales, think, I only pay this when I close a deal, when I close a transaction. Commissions or splits paid to employees or independent contractors involved in the sale. Maybe you have an arrangement where you have a transaction coordinator and you pay them when a deal closes. That's an example of a cost of sale. If the deal doesn't close, they don't get paid. And then any referral fees. Again, the deal doesn't get closed, I don't pay it. So if I pay it when I close, it's cost of sales. Everything else is operating expenses. Operating expenses relate to running your business. Whether you have a sale or not, you still got to pay it. Rent, auto, salaries for administrators, insurance, professional services, marketing and advertisement, equipment and supplies, education. Don't forget to invest in your education. That's very important. I don't know if anyone on this call is going to family reunion, but that is a operating expense. It's education, it's training based. So I'm going to write off every dollar I spend at family reunion when I go on Sunday. If you are going, follow me on Instagram. I would love to connect while we're there. If you follow me on Instagram, it's at belgrave.realestate. At belgrave.realestate. Would love to connect moving forward. Best practices. Gain clarity on your big why and plans for your future. Set your personal and business budgets. Open additional bank accounts for taxes, expenses, and other savings. It's very important. Some people need to separate it all. I'm that kind of guy. Like, I need things separated because my mind just works better that way, as opposed to it all being in one account or one group. Whatever works best for you, but best practices is to separate them. Open up additional bank accounts to keep it separated. Download and use the MREA chart of accounts. There is a Excel spreadsheet for charts of accounts based off of the MREA way of managing your money. If you're for those of you who have accountants, when you're looking for accountants, there are certain accountants who do know the MREA way of budgeting and operating your business. So Look for referrals from people within the KW ecosystem on accountants that are going to be helping you with your business that do know how the MREA budgeting model works versus the traditional way. It is different. It is different. Purchase and download tax accounting software. They all the QuickBooks and all that kind of stuff is out there. There is a gentleman who created a way of tracking for accounting, an accounting software that uses the MRA way of accounting. I don't know it off the top of my head, but there is one out there that I actually used to have a couple years back, but I don't have it anymore. Hiring an accountant, CPA, attorney, tax advisor. You should have your team in place to help keep you out of the IRS's web. Set dates to calculate and pay your estimated taxes. I do it quarterly. I send my accountant a P&L quarterly, and he helps me prepare for my taxes so that I can pay it early, or he just lets me know, Ricardo, you're good right now. We'll see how quarter 2 and 3 look. And prepare for your future insurance, savings, and investments. For those of us who do plan on being real estate agents full-time, or maybe you're full-time right now, don't forget about retirement. IRAs are big, Roth IRAs are big. Make sure that you set aside something for retirement because there's no pension in real estate. Unless, every state is different. I don't know of any pensions in real estate, but if there is something on the West Coast, you let me know. I'm not aware of it, but so make sure that you're planning for the future. It's very important. Gary Keller says, think and act the wage you want before you earn it. Ooh, that's a bar. Average is as average does. Good is as good does. And great is as great does. What you do is who you become. I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I want to dive a little bit deeper in that because that's a powerful statement right there. Don't wait to become that great income earner to then act like that great income earner. Be it from the beginning, right? Mindset. What sticks out to you in that quote that I just read? Oh, hold on, let me go back. By Gary Keller, where it says, what you do is who you become.
It's basically stating you're leading with mindset again. This is, like you said, this entire company, for the most part, is mindset related.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anyone else? All right.
I'm Lori. I made a decision in January of 2024 that I was going to wake up every single day and be a 10.
I like that.
So no matter what faces me each day, and it goes to what Takesha said about mindset, I have lived that every single day. And if something gets me off track, I just remind myself today I'm a 10, and I figure out how I can move forward and continue on that path. So I'm result oriented.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you so much. Your name?
Lori. I'm Lori.
Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you.
That's Lori.
All right. We're going to do an exercise here. I'm going to share. However, I'm going to keep it on a smaller screen because I want to look at my notes as we're going through this exercise. Let me hide this floating thing. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So let's revisit the income goal you set for yourself in session 1. Refer back to your participant guide for session 1 and take a look at what you wrote. So first, A, what is my income goal that I want to accomplish for 2025? Now that you refer back to it, my question is, are you thinking and acting the wage you intend even before you've earned it? So whatever that wage is, that $35,000 a month, am I acting like a $35,000 a month income earner? If my number is $300,000, am I acting like a $300,000 annual income earner? Are there any changes you'd make now after working on your success system and learning so much more about the real estate sales business? So, is there anyone who has made active changes in what they do, how they speak, what books they read, what podcasts they're listening to, who you're following on Instagram, on who you're friends with on Facebook? Like your community, your sphere of influence needs to be similar to the income earner that you want to be. There's a phrase, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with most. I believe, I don't know if it was Gary Keller or somebody mentioned this to me. They said, well, I know Gary Keller says, Gary Keller says, I can look at your calendar and determine how much money you make by looking at your calendar. I heard somewhere else that I can determine the person you are by looking at the book, looking at your library in your home. Do you have a library of books in your home? Right? Right now, and I'm going to be transparent. I can tell I'm making up a new one. I could tell the kind of person you are by looking at your YouTube algorithms. Why does YouTube keep sending me stuff on Kendrick Lamar? Well, it's because I watch a lot of stuff on Kendrick Lamar. So it's a glimpse of, it's a glimpse of what I want to watch, right? What I want to see, right? So what does your algorithms look like? If you want to change your algorithms when it comes to YouTube and even on social media, then start watching and following and commenting and liking the things that are geared towards that lifestyle that you're looking to achieve. You want to be a real estate investor? Follow, like, and comment on real estate investing. Surround yourself with those things. Now, here's a question. With a quick calculation, we're going to do a calculation together. A is your net income goal. B is your company dollar and royalty cap. C is your business expenses. D is your total gross commission income, which is A plus B plus C. E is your average commission. And F is your annual transaction goal. So D divided by E. I'm going to give you a few minutes, 5 minutes, to figure out how many transactions you need to close in order to obtain your net income goal. So I don't know if you guys have the participation guide with you. I don't know if they send it out to you beforehand, but in your participation guide, there should be this format here so you can go through your numbers and figure it out together. So whatever you hand wrote as your net income goal at day one, let's say it was $100,000. Increase it by 50% to make it $150,000 and write that down. Then recalculate everything using the estimated examples for rows B and C. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to identify what your annual transaction goal needs to be in order to generate your net income goal. Any questions? All right. I'll play some music so it's not so quiet.
Would you mind putting the slide back up on the screen, please?
Absolutely. You
Thank
got
you.
it. No problem at all. 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Two minutes. One minute, 10 seconds.
I have another question.
Sure.
Regarding line E, the average commission, is that before any splits or after?
So that is going to be total gross commission income is D, which would be A, B, and C. That's a good question. I'm
Ma'am,
going to say, anyone else know the answer to that? I'm not quite sure.
actually, I have a cheat sheet that was given to me by one of our coaches a while ago. If you like, I can share it. I just wasn't going to say anything because I thought everybody was going to work it out themselves.
Oh
And
yeah,
it,
absolutely.
it calculates everything, whether it's the before or after, but it's
Mhm.
actually one that we have. So
Typically, when I do these exercises, the average commission income is before splits.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Yeah, I'm on
welcome.
a team, so there's the Keller
Yeah,
Williams part plus the team part. So,
understood.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Takesha, did you want to share?
if it's all right with you, I mean, I'll send it to you first so you can look at it.
No, do you have it up on your screen?
I do. Hold on
Okay,
a
you can
second.
share your screen.
I was about to say I'm giving permissions. No, it's just gonna put it in there. Hold on a second then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Ah,
this
yeah.
is what I have. Don't mind all my tabs, but this is pretty much what it is that I used, and I've been using this a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is I go through and I put in obviously everything it is that, I have here. It tells me everything my after taxes. And it has the instructions to go with it on page 1. But all I do is go in and put in what my commission would be, my average sales price. And it literally goes through and it calculates, like, for instance, if it is that I just said my commission is, I'm just going to say 4%. It redo all the numbers for you, but it actually takes you all to the bottom and it tells you how many appointments that you need, and it breaks it down for you by month, by week. This is the seller side, this is the buyer side. That's what I need for 1 year in order to get to my goal. And this is the economic model from the MREA book, actually.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I've used this. I used this one first couple of years of my business. This was given to me by my coach. And now I use a different one. As a matter of fact, let me share that real quick. Let's go off script for a little bit. And the one that I'm going to get out of here. Okay. The one that I'm going to share, I'll put the link in the chat. Now, the one that you shared, Takesha, is that shareable?
Yes, I can share it and just give all access. This one here is just one that I play around with, so I'll give it.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll put both. So Takesha, she'll share hers, and then I'll share mine as well. And then, you know, you guys can figure out which one you like best, or just what works best for you. But I'm going to share this one that I have. I got this one a couple of years ago, and this one I like because it's a little bit more user friendly. Let me show you. So I use this with all of my my coaching clients. And this one is called the goals worksheet. It's broken down to different, you'll see the different tabs here at the bottom. It starts off with your Life by Design worksheet. So the top number is your Life by Design number, right? So everything that you would like to purchase outside of your business expenses and your personal expenses. And then it gives you your grand total. It does also calculate a 20% tax rate. If you know what your tax rate is, then you can obviously edit that number if you like. Then here we have our personal expenses, which is broken down to a monthly basis. Again, with taxes included, because any income generated, obviously through real estate, you know, you're going to get taxed on. And then down here, your business expenses. So it breaks it into 3 categories. The business expenses does not have a tax rate on it because your business expenses you can write them off. So after you generate all of your numbers, then it comes up here. It comes up here. It tells you how many transactions you need to close for your survival number, which is personal and business expenses, and then how many transactions you need to close for your Life by Design number, which is again above and beyond. And then it gives you your thriving number here. Then on the breakdown, which is one of my favorite parts, it breaks it down into 2 categories: your MET group and your not MET group and your MET group. The green numbers are the numbers that you can edit. So anything in green you can change and modify. But in white, it's going to generate its own numbers for you. You need to know your conversion rates, which on here are the industry standards. And then when you plug in all your numbers, it'll tell you how many appointments you need. It will tell you how many contacts you need in your database. Right here, this will tell you how many conversations you need to have from your not met and your met. And then over here, it'll tell you exactly what you need to do every day in order to generate the income you're looking to generate. When it says here days, this is working days, not calendar days. These are and working days in our business is prospecting, the days you spend prospecting. There's also a GPS template in here, a gap analysis, a growth plan, and a quick calculator. I'm going to share this in the chat, the link for this. Hold on one second. And again, you have Takesha's and you have mine, and whatever one works best for you, then that's what you can use. So that right there is worth admission, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me see, make sure it's in there. Waiting room participant is not in this meeting. Hold on. Did it go in the chat yet? Oh, it says waiting room. Hold on. Everyone in meeting. Okay, here we go. All right, perfect. There you go. Now it's in the chat. Of course, remember, if you do use that, to make a copy of it for yourself. And I always say, make a copy and then have like your template and then use the copy off of that. You're welcome, Kim. All right, let's get back to it. All right. Let's see. Okay, we skipped a couple of slides for the sake of time. Importance of accountability. Ooh, this is a big one. This is a really, really big one. So I went to family reunion last year, and I'm going to share this with you. I went to family reunion last year, and one of the classes that I went to, it was talking about accountability. It was talking about goal setting. And I don't know the numbers exactly, so just bear with me, but the ratios that I'm going to give you are pretty accurate. It says when you write down your goal, your probability of accomplishing that goal is about 75%. When you write down the goal and you have an accountability partner, it goes above 85%. And when you write down the goal, have an accountability partner that you meet with weekly, your probability of achieving that goal goes upwards over 90%. Accountability keeps your mindset focused and it keeps you positive. It reminds you of your big why. It challenges you and makes you uncomfortable at times. Your coach can be like a mirror and it shows you all the blemishes and all the things that sometimes we don't want to look at. We don't want to talk about. One of our 6 personal perspectives is be accountable. I believe that's actually number 6, to be accountable. We can be accountable on our own. However, it is also very, very important that we have accountability partners that we have to share our concepts and our ideas and our goals with, and they will help keep us focused on us achieving them. If you do not have an accountability partner, get one, get 2, get 3. A lot of times when I set when I set my goals for the year, I don't keep them tucked away inside my little notebook or in my little office. I tell everybody who's in my sphere of influence what my goal is. My goal for this year, from a financial standpoint, is to save 3 to 6 months of my personal household expenses. I'm telling everybody on this call, so over 40 people on this call, I'm telling you, I tell my community, I tell my family, I tell my friends. So when I want to go on that vacation, or I want to buy them new shoes, or I want to get that new watch, I have someone that'll say, Ricardo, I thought your goal was, how are you with that goal? Where are you at with that goal? Right? Hold me accountable. I'm big on accountability. Really, really big. Definitely one of my favorite things. Types of accountability, we mentioned people, accountability partners, your productivity coach, a mentor, KW MAPS coach. I have a MAPS coach. I have a mentor. My personal mentor, I'm going to brag a little bit, is John Clyde. Anyone on the call know who John Clyde is? John Clyde is the vice president of growth for KWRI. He holds, from what I understand, he holds the highest role of an African American in leadership in the real estate industry. He was given that role a couple of years ago. I now work for his market center. He was the OP. He stepped down as OP last year, and we have a new OP. But he's been my mentor. I met him through the Social Equity Task Force in 2021, and it's been one of the greatest relationships I've had since I've been in this business. We also have tools for accountability. The 411 is a weekly accountability tracker. Time blocking. I'm huge on time blocking. Time blocking changed my life when I got into real estate. And then the one thing, if you have not read the one thing, it is one of my favorites One of my all-time favorites. I literally keep it next to me. It's right here. I love this book. It is amazing. I believe they also have it on audio. If you're an audiobook person, I'm not, but those of you who are, it's definitely resourceful. But this one right here is a game changer. I actually suggest newer agents to read this before you read the MREA. Because the MREA is more like, I consider the MREA more like a textbook, kind of like a resource, right? But the one thing is a much easier read from front to back. Love it. The one thing, huge. Big on accountability. Ahas. Additional ahas so far. Let's get 2.
I like your
Like
tracker
that was
sheet
a
better than mine.
What was that, Takesha?
I said I like your tracker sheet better than mine.
Yeah, like the one you use, like I said, I used that one for years, and then when I saw this one, I was like, ooh, it's just easier on the eyes, you know. It's I kind of compare like Android versus Apple. I mean, you know,
I don't do that. I don't do that. I got both. Really quick, and I keep trying to open yours, and it's telling me that I need a password. I want to make sure no one needs a password on mine either, please.
Okay. Let me see for mine. Let me just go back. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. All right. I see I have 17 people who request access. I'm going to give access to everyone. So hopefully you'll be good to go after this. And make sure you're good before we go off the call. Okay. Anyone else? I didn't need a password. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Anyone else want to share? Aha. I have one from Takesha. Thank you. Leah, you're about to say something. Thank you, Leah.
that was a lot of ahas in a little bit of time. So I think my biggest takeaway would be um focusing on focus, maybe doing the one thing, and then just really figuring out on paper what my goals are and then getting with my teammate and working on that together every week.
Awesome. Very nice. Perfect. Anthony, I did see that you still need access. We'll definitely take care of that before we head off. I got access to both. It may depend on which email you're using as well. I don't know if either the @KW works better, or the @Gmail. I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. Worst case, email in the chat and make sure that you can email me. It's going to be rbelgrave@kw.com. Belgrave. Email if you're having difficulties, and I'll definitely make sure that you're good to go. All right. Perfect. Let's continue. So now, one of the things that happens a lot in our business is we become productive, and we forget the fact that the things that we learned to get productive is the reason why we became productive. We got to remember to be learning based. Learn more about your market. You should be Mark King, our former CEO of Keller Williams. He always said you should be the economist of choice in your market. You should know average home price, number of homes sold in your town in the last month, whether it's increased or decreased, and if so, by how much. Because as you continue to build your business and become known as the realtor, people are going to ask you, we get that question, how's the market? You know, so Being the economist of choice is very important. As I mentioned, days on the market, new construction development projects that are coming up, different codes and changes in policy that have happened. I just got a notice when I came home today in the mail that my taxes are going up. Sheesh. So you should know these things. Attend events, family reunion I mentioned, mega agent camp. I know it's really difficult to go to these big, massive ones when you first get started. I didn't go to family reunion until my 3rd year at KW, mostly because my first year I was too broke, and then after that it was COVID. So, however, regional events are huge. They're great ways to get some amazing content and training for very little, if any cost at all. Obviously, you have what's going on in your market center, which you should always plug into. But I like the thought of going to the regional events because not only do you get to go to some training at a higher scale, but you also get to collaborate and build relationships with other agents within your region. And I'm telling you, building these relationships within Keller Williams brings about so many opportunities, so many opportunities. The fact that I'm in this role that I'm in now is largely because of the relationships that I built from a regional standpoint. And then read MREA, Shift, The One Thing. Like I said before, I would suggest if you haven't read any of these to start with The One Thing. If you're only going to read one of them, don't tell Gary Keller I said this, but read The One Thing. Everybody gonna say the MREA, but if you're newer, I always say that One Thing is definitely the best place to start. My personal favorite. Learning-based courses, mindset and accountability, the 6 personal perspectives. If you have never taken that class, that's huge. I suggest taking it at least twice a year. I'd suggest taking it in the beginning of the year and in the middle of the year because you need that recalibration. Bold, huge. I believe the average bold attendees production increases over 140%. So if bold is offered in your market center, in your area, in your region, take it. It's worth the cost of admission, trust me. Quantum Leap, another really, really big one. I don't know if you're aware, but we have something called QL, which is for the young people. Young people, I believe it's from 18 to 17, 18 to 25, if I'm not mistaken. But if you go to QL, which is the young version of Quantum Leap, the young people version, you get opened up the opportunity to get a scholarship. You get 6 weeks of MAPS coaching for free, and you can get up to 2 $5,000 scholarships. And it's not just for people who are in Keller Williams or an agent licensed with Keller Williams. It's anybody. Your child, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your nephew, your neighbor, whoever, anybody can take QL. Anybody can take QL. It's a nonprofit created by Gary Keller to give back to the community. I run a QL session every summer for the young people, the young high school people in my area, and I've had several of them. My son actually got a QL scholarship. He's also a licensed real estate agent. His scholarship helped pay for him to go to family reunion and make an Asian camp. The monies can go towards anything training based. So whether they're going for a trade or they're going to get training in real estate or towards their college tuition. And I'm telling you guys, they're giving this money away. They don't have enough young people participating. So it's not that difficult. So that's a big one. That's called QL. The nonprofit associated with QL is now called KW Next Gen. We have obviously Command, learning your Command systems. There's always constant updates. I think the new update in Command is now there's AI in Command now. I just noticed that today, which is really awesome. It'll break down your timeline and your communication with your clients and kind of give you a little summary on it. What I thought was really, really cool. Smart finances, profitability, business planning clinic is big. Hiring, career visioning. Once you do get to that level where you're ready to hire someone, take career visioning first. Career visioning is very big on best practices in hiring and building your team. And then there's other obviously other things on here. DEI. I got my opportunity in leadership because of my affiliation with social equity and the DEI community. My girl, oh, what's my girl's name? Oh my goodness. All right. I can't think of her name right now, but she's in charge of DEI for Keller Williams Realty International, and she teaches the color of real estate, unconscious bias, and you can get your agent of distinction by taking those courses. Julia Lachey. Oh, see, Julia Lachey. It's on recorded. I remembered, Julia. I love you. Planning for learning. So we're going to keep going. Mission. So the Keller Williams mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. If you are someone who likes to teach, you're naturally a teacher. We do have something called Keller Williams. You can become a Keller Williams University certified instructor. I just got my certification last year. I worked on it for 2 years. It's something I'm very proud of. The reason why I mention it is because when you take the test to become a Keller Williams University certified instructor, you got to know this. They give you a little test, and you have to know these things. But in general, it's important to know the mission of the company that you're doing business with, obviously. Which of these five things sticks out to you the most or speaks to you the most? Careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, or legacies worth leaving. Which one of those sticks out to you the most?
Legacies worth leaving.
Why? If you don't mind me asking.
I can say KW has participated in my life a couple different ways over the years. And it literally had certain things to do with my legacy. But at the same time, I also passed that on. I'm certified in probate. And so I passed that same love, empathy, time, patience, the whole nine. The thing that they gave to me during the time I needed, I passed that on the same exact way. And when I tell you that one is big for me, nobody can ever take that from me.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's my personal favorite as well. Thank you, Takesha, for sharing. Anyone else? Okay. Get real about your situation and get right about what you're doing. Bring a greater sense of clarity, priority, and focus to your work. This is in Gary Keller's Shift book. Getting real, reality is important. Getting right, knowing best practices for implementation. Bring a greater sense of clarity. Why am I doing what I'm doing, right? Going back to the big why. Prioritizing what's most important. It's a big difference between being productive and being busy. I don't like using the word busy. I like to use the word productive. If I had a productive day, that was a good day. If I had a busy day, it was not a good day. That means I did a whole bunch of nothing. And focus on your work. Extraordinary results are directly tied to how narrow you can make your focus. It's one of my favorite. As a matter of fact, that is my favorite Gary Keller quote. Design your future. We start with the value proposition. What do we have to offer? What distinguishes us from others? The fuel to keep us going is our big why. Having our profit goal. How many transactions do I need to close in order to reach my income goal, my net income goal? Having a smart database with smart plans. I have over 1,200 contacts in my command. Most of them are on a smart plan. So now I'm at the point in my business where when I go into my command, all I do is click on my task applet, and it tells me my 10 to 12 things I need to do for the day. Write my letters, Got my letters right here. I write handwritten cards are really big for me. That's one of my lead generating strategies. I send my text messages. I make my quarterly calls. I follow up on my current clients that I'm working with. So leveraging again your database that leveraging your database is what makes it a smart database. Smart money and business decisions, accountability, and learning. This is the design. This is the formula. This is the model for your future, for a successful future. Period. Ahas to achievement. How has your thinking changed based off of what we've learned today? And what ideas or mindsets were new for you today? Either one of those. How has your thinking changed, or what ideas or mindsets are new to you that you have would like to implement into your business? Yes.
I think that being accountable for where your money goes and really writing it down on those sheets that you gave us is really good for me, because I have kind of a squirrel personality, and when I see the next shiny thing, I might do it, and then I forget that I'm even paying for it. So to have that actually down and to see where your money's going every month, I think that'd be a benefit for me a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And
Your name?
Keisha, thank you for always jumping into, Keisha. You inspired me to open my mouth.
There we go. Yes. Takesha's been holding it down. Thank you.
You've been holding it down.
It makes my job easier. And thank you as well, Leah, and everyone who shared today. I really appreciate it. Your name, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Oh.
The young lady that just shared. I see Jessica Warren on the name, but I know several of you there.
Jessica Warren is here too. There are 3, 6, 7 of us tonight. I'm Lori.
Lori, excellent. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, everybody.
Say thank you,
Kim.
guys. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Kim Duke, did you want to share?
Yeah, I have one. I wrote down something here, what I can do differently. Just a lot of different thinking of things that, the big why. Just a lot of things that we talked about, and just how I can do things differently, especially with my lead generation and things like that.
Awesome. What do you feel differently about? Is there something that you learned today that you feel differently about compared to when you first came in to today's session? Anyone want to share on that note? Or something that was meaningful to you today? Gerald? Oh no, Angie. Thank you, Angie.
I just wanted to say that it just kind of reminds me that mindset is a huge thing. And I kind of really like the think and act the wage you want to be before you earn it. I think that's kind of a huge thing for me. Just because I guess I didn't think that way. So it was kind of a neat thing, and just remind me that mindset is huge.
Absolutely. Angie, that's actually my aha too this evening. I really need to focus more on thinking like the wage that I want. And I actually I'm going to challenge myself to start putting more things around me geared towards that. So that's one for me as well. Thank you, Angie. Gerald, Clara, you're going off mute. Go ahead, Clara.
Yeah, sorry. So for me, I want to second Angie as well. That was a huge aha for me as well. And then also too, when you said to surround yourself with the people that you see yourself as, whether it's investors or, in the real estate business or just anywhere in general, right? Like if you see yourself being top tier, then you need to be surrounding yourself with people that are top tier.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're
Gerald, did
welcome.
you want to share?
Yeah. This class has been excellent tonight. It just kind of reminded me of some lessons that I've learned over the years. So I might as well share them, kind of old school type of things. Number one, I agree with you 100%. Pay your taxes. Make sure you pay those taxes so you don't get yourself in trouble. And then number two, save your money. Okay, save your money. When it comes to selling and transactions, and everything's going good, that's great. But you are hot until you're not. Okay, so definitely save your nuts so you can survive in lean times. Okay, and then purchase. This is just some advice I'm telling myself. Purchase a little less car than you have in mind. Okay, it saves you a ton, and you will thank yourself later. Most people, I don't know if you try to impress yourself, you try to impress other people, but most folks won't even know or notice if you're driving a 2020 or 2025. Okay. And the last thing I was going to say is don't worry about the money. Just help people and families, and the money will take care of itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pursue your passion and the money will come. You're absolutely right. You don't want to go around in real estate with commission breath. People can smell it a mile away.
There you go.
Absolutely. Thank you. Great ahas. What actions will you take? Has anyone identified any actionable items that you're going to take from today's lesson and implement?
I'll be taking a couple of the slides, like the 6 core competencies of a business. Because I wrote notes on them, I'm actually going to tape them up in front of me along with my economic goal, so I don't lose sight of why it is I'm getting up to do the things that I'm doing.
Awesome. Thank you. Angie?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was that said that, but I really liked the fact of the same thing as on surrounding yourself with people that you kind of want to be like you want to be, and so you can set the tone of where you want to be in your life.
Awesome. Thank you. Last one. What tools, models, or systems will you use to make you accountable? We went over a few today. Is there anything that stuck out to you that you're going to actually use for accountability purposes? Whether it be time blocking, accountability coach, the one thing, is there anything in particular of the ones that we shared this evening that you're going to use for accountability?
Time blocking is huge.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
If you put your mind at like a invisible timer and say, I'm going to work on this for an hour or 2 hours. And you can even set your phone timer on it. You can accomplish so much when and you have to like turn off all your notifications on your phone and just concentrate on working.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at my calendar. So you can see this is not just something that I preach. It's something that I practice. This is definitely, like I mentioned, there's several things I've learned in Keller Williams that has changed my life, but this is definitely one that I appreciate the most, probably outside of the importance of investing. But this is my time calendar. This is my block calendar. This is a good week. This is a less busy week. But the one thing I keep consistent is my one thing for my business, which is my lead generating. And then the one thing for my coaching, which is my retention calls. So I have that blocked, and then I color coordinated. And then what's great with the time block is that it will tell you, if you look for more insight over here, Google started something where it will show you what you're spending most of your time on. And if you need to make any adjustments. Keller Williams, Washington Township get a lot of my time, but they pay me the most. So I guess, it's equitable. But time blocking is definitely big. I love it. It helps keep you less stressed as well, because you already know what you got going on. And here's a little nugget. I actually shared this with one of my coaching clients earlier. A lot of agents forget to time block follow-up. Follow-up is not during lead gen. You don't follow up during prospecting. Prospecting is generating new business. Follow-up is cultivating the ones that you already have in your funnel. So my thing is always, if you're a full-time agent, you should be doing a minimum of 10 hours a week of prospecting and 5 hours a week of follow-up. If you're a dual career agent, you should be doing a minimum of 3 hours a week of lead generating and an hour a week of follow-up. That's the rule of thumb that I use and that I teach. But whatever it is, whatever time you do, something is better than nothing. But blocking it out is very, very important. Okay, I have one request, actually two requests. The first request is, if you could please do me a favor, as I mentioned to you, I am a Keller Williams University certified instructor. Part of staying a Keller Williams certified instructor is to get surveys whenever I teach coursework. This here is a QR code. If you can do a survey for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I will also put the link in the chat, so you can click on the link and do it on your desktop as well. Reminder, 5 is the most, 5 is the best, 1 is least. For my region, I am in the Pennsylvania Greater region. This is a virtual training. And the class is going to be Ignite 20, Plan Your Future. And then my name is on the drop down, Ricardo Belgrave. And then the last thing I'm going to ask you is, my goal for this year is to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram. My Instagram is @belgrave.realestate. So if you would like to follow me, I would love it. I'm at about I think I'm over 650. My goal is to get at 1,000 by the end of this year. So if you can help me with that, follow me, and stay connected. If you ever have any questions or you need help with anything, that is the culture of Keller Williams. I don't care. I'm in Jersey, you're in Cali. It doesn't matter. Anything that I've shared that you want additional help or support on, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to do so. I believe in spreading the knowledge that I've learned here in my 5 years plus at KW, and giving back to a company that's given so much to me. And part of that is me being able to help be of service. So if you ever need anything, you can definitely reach out, or you have something that you want to want me to give you some feedback on, or you want me to give you a review on Google, whatever it is. Reach out to me, and I would love to be of assistance and love to help. All right. Anything for the good of the order before we go?
I still need access. And you said send you an email?
Yes. Send me an email if you're having difficulties with getting access to the goals worksheet. Yep.
Okay.
Belgrave, rbelgrave@kw.com.
Okay.
Ricardo?
Is there someone else? I'm sorry, is that
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes, I wanted to add, sorry, I'm sick, so I don't have a good voice.
It's okay.
When you were talking about saving for your
Mm-hmm.
taxes, I was told to go get a special quarterly bank account to stick that money in, preferably a high yield quarterly, so you cannot take that money out until your taxes are due.
That's a
So
great
I
tip.
just thought I'd pass that on. I don't know if anybody's been told that, but that's what I was told to do, and it works.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Once you've done a survey, you can log off. I'm going to stay on for a few more moments if anyone's still, putting the information in or scanning or whatever. Again, thank you all so much. Is there anyone on here going to family reunion by chance? Okay, I was gonna say, if you are, email me. I would love to connect. If not, God willing, I'll see you next time.
Can you please, okay, somebody did. I was looking for your email, but we got it. Thank you.
Got it?
Yeah, thanks.
Perfect. You're very welcome. Is there anyone that still needs me to share?
I do. That's not your email, that's your Insta.
I'm
The
sorry.
at Belgrave.realestate is the Insta. Yeah, the R Belgrave at KW is my email. I'll put that.
Ricardo, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you guys. You accidentally sent everything to me in DM, which is why I'm trying to retype it out and send it to everybody else. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. That's okay. I'll put everything in here. Okay. All right. So that's the email. And at Belgrave.realestate is the Insta. Anything else we need? Oh, the link. Did I put the link in? That's in the link to you too?
You did.
There's a survey link too for everyone. There we go. Bye-bye. I'm going to sleep. It's 10:48 p.m. here. I'm going to sleep.
I'm on my way also.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.